Thank you for purchasing Cedar Valley shingle panels. This video will cover the basic steps to help you install your new panels. Before you start, let's go over the tools you will need. You'll need a saw, a hammer, caulk and a caulking gun, a tape measure, and level. Additionally, on larger projects, a chop saw, a chalk line, a carpenter's square, and a brad nailer and staple gun are recommended. Today we will cover the basic installation of the Cedar Valley shingle panel. If your installation involves something not covered in this video, please call us at the factory and we will gladly help you. We are installing one-course panels on the exterior of a home. Standard building codes will apply because this siding is considered lap siding by Uniform Building Code. The basic rules of thumb are: panels must be 6 inches above the ground or 1 inch above roofing or decks. Panels are nailed a maximum distance of 16 inches on center onto the wall studs or half-inch plywood shear. A code-approved moisture barrier is required directly behind the shingle panels. Proper flashing of corners, windows, and doors is required. Make sure the wall is clear and clean. Remove any obstructions that would keep the panels from lying flat against the wall. Remove all old siding. We have read the installation instructions, so let's put on our safety glasses and get started. Firstly, make sure the wall is prepared for new siding. The wall must have a code-approved moisture barrier, sometimes called house wrap. If you tore off old siding, replace the old house wrap as well. We have installed optional starter strip horizontally, and the panel will sit right on top of it. Make sure it is level and tack it in place where you want the bottom of the first row to land. If you have a chalk line or a string level, you can use that as a guide to install the starter horizontally. To install our panel, there are 4 basic steps: measure, cut, caulk, and nail. First, we measure the distance and mark it on our shingle panel. Then we cut a shingle panel to that measurement. You should check the fit before you caulk. When we are sure the piece fits tightly, we'll use our caulk gun to put a 1/4 inch bead where the cut edge of the plywood backer sits against the trim. If your piece is too short, set it aside. There will be other places you can utilize it. Set the panel in place tightly against the caulk trim piece and nail properly. Note, we are blind nailing the shingle panels. The best way to ensure this is to keep the nail right at 1.5 inches from the very top of the Cedar Valley shingle panel, so the next row of panels should cover the nail heads. When nailing, start 1 inch in from each edge and space your nails no more than 16 inches apart. If you need to fasten lower on the panel, make sure to use a stainless steel brad nail. Now as you move across the wall, you will see that the overlapping end joints on the full shingle panels provide a seamless appearance. Here's how the ends go together. Don't forget, 1 inch in from each edge and a maximum distance of 16 inches apart when nailing. So if your piece is 20 inches wide, you'll need 3 nails. Continue to the opposite corner and save the unused end of the last panel as a starter piece for the next row. That's the basics. You have just installed your first shingle panel. Continue up the wall until you are complete. Now let's look at some other areas and how to properly install Cedar Valley shingle panel. Around windows, cut panels to fit tightly. Under and over the windows, you'll have to cut the panel horizontally, and on gables, you'll need to make a diagonal cut. Doing so may cause some shingles to become loose as they are no longer secured by the staples at the top of the panel. If this is the case, simply refasten the shingles to the plywood with a stainless steel brad nail or crown staple. We recommend doing so before installing on the wall. There you have some of the basics of a Cedar Valley shingle panel installation. Some final things to remember are: the 4 basic steps are measure, cut, caulk, then nail. Check with your building department on any project before starting. A building permit may be required. A code-approved moisture barrier is needed directly behind Cedar Valley shingle panel siding. Cedar Valley shingle panels are not approved for roofing. Playhouses, sheds, and gazebos are exempt from this rule. If you have any installation questions, please call us at the factory and ask for a technical rep. We are happy to talk to you about the suitability and use of our Cedar Valley shingle panel siding for your project. Thanks again for your purchase of Cedar Valley's shingle panel siding, and enjoy your project. Want to see more? Click on the links below to see information on some of our other products.